My name is Febrina and I'm going to explain about Chapter 7 of Dominic Salvatore's book, Managerial Economics in a Global Economy, entitled Cost Theory and Estimation. We'll begin with the nature of costs. There are three kinds of the nature of costs. First, explicit costs. It is the actual expenditures of the firm to hire, rent, or purchase the inputs it requires in production. For example, accounting cost. Second is economic cost. It is the firm's actual expenditures or explicit costs incurred for purchase or rented inputs. For example, implicit cost and alternative or opportunity cost. Third is relevant cost. Consists of the incremental cost and sunk cost. Incremental cost is a broader concept and refers to the change in total cost from implementing a particular management decision. The costs that are not affected by the decision are irrelevant and are called sunk cost. Next up, short-run cost function. Short-run here is defined as the time period during which some of the firm's inputs are fixed or cannot be readily changed. To figure out the total cost, we have to find out about the total fixed cost, which is the total obligation of the firm per time period for all fixed inputs. We also have to know the total variable cost, which is the total obligation of the firm per time period for all the variable inputs that the firm uses. So the formula for the short-run cost function is total cost equals total fixed cost plus total variable cost. From the total fixed, total variable, and total cost functions, we can derive the corresponding per unit cost function of the firm. Marginal cost is the change in total cost or the change in total variable cost per unit change in output. This table shows the hypothetical short-run total and per unit cost schedule of a firm. The top panel shows that the total variable cost is 0 when output is 0 and rises as output rises. As the point G extends, the law of diminishing returns begin to operate. The total cost curve has the same shape as the total variable cost curve and is above it by $60. The bottom panel shows U-shaped average variable cost, average total cost, and marginal cost curves. Average fixed cost equals average total cost minus average variable cost and declines continuously as output rises. The marginal curve reaches a minimum before the average variable cost and average total cost curves and intercepts them from below at their lowest points. With labor as the only variable input, total variable cost for any output level equals the wage rate times the quantity of labor used. The U-shape of the average variable curve can be explained as the average variable cost equals total variable cost per output equals wage per average physical product of labor. And the U-shape of the marginal cost curve can be similarly be explained as change in total cost per unit change in output equals wage per marginal physical product of labor. Next is long-run cost curve. We define long-run as the time period during which all inputs are variable. A firm's long-run total cost curve is derived from the firm's expansion path and shows the minimum long-run total cost of producing various levels of output. From long-run total cost, we can derive the long-run average cost. Long-run average cost equals long-run total cost divided by output. And we can also derive the long-run marginal cost that equals change in long-run total cost per unit change in output. This is the derivation of long-run cost curves. And this graphic shows the relationship between long-run and short-run average cost curves. These are the possible shapes of the LIC curves. And this graphic shows about economic of scale, where the bigger the output, the lower the average cost. International trade in inputs is important as a way for firms to minimize costs internationally. Foreign sourcing of inputs is simply a requirement to remain competitive, not a matter of choice to earn higher profit. Firms must explore sources of cheaper inputs and overseas production in order to remain competitive. This process is called the new international economic of scale, immigration of skilled labor, and brain drain. Brain is the immigration of highly skilled workers from poorer nations to the US and leading industrial countries in Europe. Logistic or supply chain management refers to the merging at the corporate levels of purchasing, transportation, warehouse, distribution, and customer service functions. This is seen not as a way to reduce transportation costs, but as a source of competitive advantage. There are three reasons for the emergence and rapid growth of logistics. First is the development of new and much faster algorithms and computers that greatly facilitate the solution of the complex logistic problems. The second is the growing use of just-in-time inventory management, which makes the buying of inputs and the selling of the product much more tricky and more closely integrated with all other functions of the firm. The third reason is the increasing trend toward globalization of production and distribution in today's world. Next, cost volume profit analysis. This analysis examines the relationship among the total revenue, total cost, and total profit of the firm at various levels of output. Operating leverage refers to the ratio of the firm's total fixed cost to total variable cost. The higher the ratio, the more leverage the firm is said to be. The responsiveness of the firm's total profits to a change in its output or sales can be measured by the degree of operating leverage, or DOL. DOL equals the percentage change in profit divided by the percentage change in output. Now we move on to empirical estimation of cost function. There are several fundamental problems that arise, such as opportunity costs must be extracted from accounting cost data, cost must be apportioned among products, costs must be matched to output over time, and costs must be corrected for inflation. This is the formulas of the functional form for short-run cost functions, theoretical form, and linear approximation. And these are the graph of theoretical form and linear approximation. There are several techniques to use to estimate long-run cost. First is with cross-sectional regression analysis. Second is with engineering method. And last is with survival techniques. This graph shows the actual LIC versus empirically estimated LIC action. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much.